computer graphics laboratory with mini projects. Subject, it is subject code 17 CSL 68. Today we will discuss program number 2 as per your syllabus. Program number 2 is create and rotate a triangle about the origin and fixed point. Means here he is expecting you to write a program for a triangle which rotates about origin as well as about fixed point, right? We will see how to rotate about origin, how to rotate about fixed point in next slides, right? This is a problem definition. Means create and rotate a triangle about the origin and a fixed point, right? Before going to this program, we will see the transformations, two-dimensional geometric transformations available in computer graphics, right? That transformation is nothing but operations that are applied to a geometric description of an object to change its position, orientation or size are called geometric transformations. Means when you are doing any design in computer graphics, means as I told, by computer graphics we can generate any image, right? Any image. When you are generating any complex images, at that time you may require to do some operation on those objects, geometric objects. Means you may require to change the position. For example, earlier that point you have drawn at 10, 10 pixel, you have drawn that point at 10, 10. Afterwards you may require that point at 20, 20, right? 20, 20. Without redrawing that point 20 at 20, 20, just to see in such a way that you move that point from this point to that point, right? In such operations you may require to do. That is position, you may require to change the position of that object. You may require to change the orientation, right? You may require to change the size of an object. For example, initially size is small, then afterwards you want that size of size is bigger. For example, you want to animate one fruit. You want to animate one fruit. Initially fruit is in a small size. Then as and when it starts growing, this size will increase. If you do this effect, then you may require to increase the size. You may require to increase size. These type of operations everyday life we have to do when you are doing operation in computer graphics, right? That is, these are all transformations, right? Changing a position, changing a orientation, changing the size. In some time you may increase the size, in some time you may decrease the size, right? These are transformations definitely you have to go through when you are doing any object, creating any object in OpenGL, right? Then geometric transformations on the other hand can be used to describe how objects might move around a scene during an animation sequence or simply view them from another angle, as I told, right? Means when you are animating if you are doing any animations on any object, at that time animation is nothing but a motion, right? You want to move that object from one position to other position, right? You want to change the orientation of that object in that animation. You may require to change the orientation of that object. You may require to change the size of the object, right? These all operations definitely we have to do when you are doing animation type programs in OpenGL, right? That's why you have to study the transformations. Again, there are two-dimensional transformations. Means you only are drawing is in a two-dimensional, then two-dimensional transformation. Again, if you want to draw three-dimensional, again three-dimensional transformations are there. Again, there are also similar, right? Only we will consider z-axis in three-dimensional. In two-dimensional, only we will consider x and y, right? That is the difference between three-dimensional and two-dimensional, right? Then, what are transformations available in OpenGL? What are different type of transformations available in OpenGL? We will discuss, right? That is three most basic transformations. Most frequently we have to do whenever we are doing animation type programs, right? First one is rotation. Means you may require to rotate the object, right, as per your specification, right? That is orientation. That is called orientation. Means it is first it is 90 degree to your x-axis. Afterwards you want that 80 degree with respect to x-axis, like that. Means like that rotation. Then scaling means resizing the object. Scaling is nothing but resizing the object. In some time you want to reduce the size of object, in some time you may require to increase the size of the object. That is called the scaling. That is also called the resizing an object. Then translation. One more is translation, means moving. Means you may require to change the object position from one place to other position. That is what a moving or placing the object. Means earlier it has at with respect to xy, that object is located at 10, 10. After some time you may require that object to 0, 0, or you may require to that object at 20, 20, or you may require that object at 100, 50. Like that means that translation means movement of objects you may require to do. These are basic transformations available. Means we will frequently do it in OpenGL. That's why these are available in OpenGL, right? Then other transformations again, share, reflect, etc. Right? Share and reflect, etc. and other transformations are also available. Right? We are going to start with two-dimensional transformation first, because we are dealing with a two-dimensional here. This our program is also depends on two-dimensional. To discuss what are transformations available in two-dimension. Then later we can move to three-dimension also. There is no much change in three-dimension. Only one axis, additional axis we have to add. Right? Then again rotation. There are some different type of rotations will be there. Right? Then keep in mind, we will be building a simple transformation which with a Cartesian with a certain implicit assumptions. Again we have to assume some implicit assumptions, means however we will combine these to make more powerful transformations. Some assumptions we have made, means whatever transformation, for example, whenever we are doing a rotation we have to assume a solid object. Rotation means we will do rotation on a solid object. Scaling is nothing but some rubber type objects. Scaling is some rubber type object, right? Means you have to stretch, you have to shrink, right? These means again transformation, such type of assumptions we have to do, right? Then rotation, first we will discuss rotation transformation, right? Means rotation, as you know, rotate an object, means I want to rotate the object with some angle. Want to rotate the object with some angle, right? Whatever angle already it is existing, is with the object is available with some angle, with some x or some y axis. It has made angle with some x or y axis. Then I want to change that object with my angle, whatever angle I am interested with, that angle I want to rotate that object, right? That's why you require rotation angle. How much you want to rotate, how much you want to rotate. For example, that object is already aligned with x axis, that object is lying on x axis, but from x axis you want 45 degree, from x axis you want 45 degree, then that angle you want, means you want to rotate that object 45 degree about x axis, right? Like that you require an angle for that is called a rotation angle. Or again here you can rotate in two ways. You can, if you want, you can rotate counterclockwise or you can rotate clockwise. Object can be rotated clockwise direction or object can be rotated counterclockwise rotation, right? That's why we can, you will see the matrix where how we are rotating, whether we are rotating clockwise or whether we are rotating counterclockwise. If you see the in derivation, we will come to know how that whether it rotates clockwise or whether it rotates anti-clockwise. Means sometime you have to subtract the angle, sometime you have to add the angle, right? If you are rotating clockwise, you have to subtract. If you are rotating anti-clockwise, you have to add, right? That is, means we will see that one. Then rotation axis, about which axis you want to rotate, whether you want to rotate about x axis, whether you want to rotate about y axis, right? In the case of two-dimensional, always you will rotate about z axis. In the case of two-dimensional, always you are rotating that object about z axis, right? But in three-dimensional, you can rotate that object about z axis, you can rotate that object about x axis, or you can rotate that object about y axis. But in two-dimensional, default rotation axis is z axis, right? Always you will rotate about z axis, right? That is by default in two-dimensional, but it is not case in the three-dimensional. Then warning, rotation performed around the origin, right? Whatever rotation matrices we are driving now, always we will assume that always we are rotating about the origin. Means object is at origin, means that object is at 0, 0. Object is located at 0, 0. Then we are rotating that object about the origin, right? That is origin is 0, 0. By default, normally we will treat in Cartesian coordinate. Origin we will consider 0, 0. That is a rotation point. That is a rotation, means about that point we are rotating with our angle, whatever angle we are. You can rotate about pivot point. We will discuss afterwards. That is a pivot point. Actually, in our problem definition, that is also there. Means rotation about origin, rotation about arbitrary axis or fixed axis or pivot point. Again, that is in different axis. That will be named different. That is rotation about pivot point, rotation about arbitrary point, rotation about fixed point. Right? The means concept is same. Right? That's why first we will rotate about origin. Then we will discuss how to rotate about pivot point or how to rotate about fixed point or how to rotate about arbitrary point. Right? We will talk later about how to rotate around an arbitrary point or pivot point. Right? That as I told. Then first rotation, derivation, right? Rotation. You can see the top right corner image. Top right corner image. That x comma y. I want to rotate x comma y. Originally x comma y. The point is at x comma y. It has made with x axis. It has made angle pi. It has made an angle pi. Then the distance is from origin, that is r. Distance is r. From origin, the distance is r. That point x comma y. Right? Then it is x distance above the x axis, then at y distance away from the y axis, right? That is x comma y. I want to rotate that x comma y to x dash y dash. I want to rotate that x comma y, means I want that point at x dash y dash. To rotate to x dash y dash, this pi I would like to add theta angle, means already with the pi angle it has made angle with x axis, means from x axis already it has located at pi angle, but I want that or point at x dash y dash. To move that point from x comma y to x dash y dash, still I have to add theta angle, means my angle is pi plus theta. My angle is now pi plus theta, then it will become x dash y dash. That's why you recall the trigonometry, that is cos a plus b equal to cos a cos b minus sin a sin b, sin a plus b equal to cos a sin b plus sin a cos b, because these derivations those equations I want in my derivation. That's why that's a recall. Right? You have studied in PUC and all those things, right? In mathematics, that cos a plus b sin a plus b, those are the derivations. Then rotation, we will come to our part now. P is a point, originally it is at xy. P is a point, originally it is at xy. Then I want P dash, means I want that point at P dash, that is means I want that point at x dash y dash. That is a transform point. That is a transform point, means I want new point at x dash y dash. Originally that point is at xy, right? Then original angle of that point xy is pi, as you can see from the image. The original angle of that x comma y point is pi from x axis. From x axis you can observe that one, right? Then the difference in angle between old and new point is theta. Old and new point is theta. Difference is old and new point is theta. Means you can take the difference or you can add theta to pi. Then automatically you will go there, right? Then so our original point x comma y and transform point x dash y dash in a polar coordinate are as follows. Then what is the original point? How to calculate x? How to calculate x? X is this. How to calculate this distance x? Right? You know theta, you know angle, then you know this, right? Then we know this, that is x equal to r cos phi. Means how to calculate this x? X equal to, this is r, right? This is r. X equal to r cos phi, means that is cos phi equal to opposite by hypotenuse. Cos phi equal to opposite by hypotenuse, so that cos theta equal to opposite by hypotenuse. Then x equal to automatically r cos phi. Similarly, what is y? Again y equal to, that you know that sin pi equal to adjacent by hypotenuse. Sin pi equal to adjacent by hypotenuse. What is adjacent? This adjacent is y. This is y. Sorry. That is cos theta equal to opposite by adjacent by hypotenuse. Cos theta equal to adjacent by hypotenuse. That's why this is x, right? Then this is r, right? That's why adjacent is x, hypotenuse is I. Cos pi equal to x by r. Then x equal to r into cos pi. Similarly, sin pi equal to opposite by hypotenuse. That opposite is y. Then hypotenuse is r, right? That is sin pi equal to y by r. Then y equal to r into sin theta. That we have derived here. X equal to r cos phi, y equal to r sin theta, right? This is what the original xy. Now I want to calculate x dash y. Then what are new x dash y dash? After adding theta, what is my x dash y dash? That is x dash y dash. I have to calculate x dash y. New points I have to calculate x dash y. This is the original point. X is r cos pi, y is r sin pi. How we have derived, I have explained, right? That is cos pi equal to opposite by adjacent by hypotenuse. Cos pi equal to adjacent by hypotenuse. Adjacent is x, hypotenuse is r. That's why we have derived this one. Then sin pi equal to opposite by adjacent. Opposite is y. Then hypotenuse is r. We have derived. Similarly, now I have to derive x dash y dash. What is x dash y dash? X dash y dash, again same. Again, what is x dash y dash? This is now opposite, right? This is opposite. Again, what is cos pi? Means now it is not a cos pi. Now cos pi plus theta. Cos pi plus theta, because originally it has made angle of pi. Then I want to rotate about again still more theta angle. That's why the total angle is pi plus theta, that is cos pi plus theta. That's why again cos pi plus theta with this triangle. Now this triangle, that is x dash y dash with origin, this triangle. Again this cos pi plus theta angle is now again adjacent by hypotenuse. Then what is adjacent? Adjacent is x dash, then hypotenuse is r. Then how to calculate x dash equal to r cos pi plus theta. Similarly y dash equal to again same sin pi plus theta. Sin pi plus theta is opposite by hypotenuse, that is opposite is y dash, hypotenuse is r, right? Then that's why y dash is r sin pi plus theta. Then you replace this one with this. You replace this cos a plus b sin a plus b. Cos a plus b sin a plus b. That is cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. That is r cos pi cos theta minus r sin pi sin theta. Then r cos pi sin theta plus r sin pi cos theta. Right? Then already we know here what is r cos pi. What is r cos pi? What is r cos pi? R cos pi is x here. R cos pi is x. That you replace. You replace r cos pi with x. Then that is x equal to cos theta. Then what is r sin pi? R sin pi is y. Right? You replace r sin pi with y. That is minus is there, minus y sin theta. Similarly, r cos pi x, r sin pi y. We have replaced this r cos pi and r sin pi. Because r cos pi is x here, r sin pi is y. That we have replaced here. That's why after substitution we can express the transferred point in terms of theta only. That is x dash y dash equal to new point x dash y dash equal to x cos pi, x cos theta minus y sin theta plus y dash equal to x sin theta plus y sin theta. Only we have represented in the theta form. Right? This is how we have derived for this point. That is a rotation. Right? This is rotation about. Then how we are rotated here? How we are rotated? We are rotating counterclockwise. We are not rotating clockwise direction. We are not rotating clockwise. As I told, that's why when you are rotating counterclockwise, that time we have to add this pi plus theta. If you are rotating clockwise, then you have to subtract pi minus theta. Right? That is what we have to do here. This is a counterclockwise rotation derivation. Again, there is a difference between clockwise and counterclockwise. That's why you go through. You be careful. This is counterclockwise rotation derivation. Counterclockwise rotation of one point with respect to origin. This is the derivation. Right? Then pattern with homogeneous coordinate transformation. Right? Here, before going to this, we will go to this. Right? Then same. I'll write upwards. I will come there. Then rotation matrix. Instead of writing those in equation form, we will try to write it in matrix format, because OpenGL prefers matrix. Right? That's why instead of writing in equation format where we have written like this, x dash equal to x cos theta minus y sin theta, y dash equal to x sin theta plus y cos theta. Instead of writing like this, we will represent those in matrix format. That is P is x and y original point. That is P is original point. That is x and y. New point is P dash. That is x dash y dash. New point is P dash x dash y dash. Right? This is the P is original point. I have written x and y in matrix format. Then P dash I have written x dash y dash. Right? If for rotation matrix transformation is R, then P dash equal to R into P. That is x. You see here. That is R into P. This is our rotation. Then x and y are original points. X and y are original points. Here also I have x. Here also I have y. Here also I have x. Here also I have. This is original points. Right? X and y are original points. Cos theta, sin theta, cos theta, rotation. That's why P dash is R into P. Therefore, our two-dimensional rotation matrix is, now rotation, if I represent this in a matrix format, then R is cos theta minus sin theta, cos theta. Right? R is cos theta minus sin theta, cos theta. That's why P dash R dash, P dash equal to R into P. P dash equal to R into P. What is R? R is this matrix. What is P? P is this matrix. This is R. R is this matrix. This is P. Just I represented this equation in matrix format. We have done nothing. Just this matrix, this equation we are representing in matrix format. That's why rotation matrix, then points, right? Then if you multiply these two, then you will get, again you will get same equation. Nothing we have done, just we will get same equation, but instead of keeping those values in equation format, we will keep those values in matrix format, right? That is, if I multiply these two matrix, again I will get this same equation, right? That is a new x dash y dash. Those are new x dash. You see, x dash equal to again same equation, y dash equal to same equation, whatever you want. That's all. Means only our intention is to keep those equations in matrix format, because OpenGL prefers matrix format, right? Then next we will go to before going to scaling, we will discuss scaling, right? Scaling here, scaling, as I told, scaling is nothing but resizing the object, altering the size of an object. You have to, means you sometime you may want to zoom in, zoom out. Already I have done. Means one image is there, you will hold at one end, then you may drag, automatically image will become bigger size. Then at the same time you will hold one end, then you will shrink, you will push. That is what zooming in, zooming out. That is changing the size of an object. That is scaling an object, altering the size of an object, right? This scaling we will be doing here. Simply multiply each coordinate by a scaling factor, right? Means you want to increase the size. Then you multiply with positive number, any positive number you can multiply, then automatically size will be increased. If you multiply with any negative number, size will be decreased. That's why x dash, original point is x and y. But you want x dash y dash, means bigger size or changed size. Then x, in x direction you multiply with scale factor sx, in y direction you multiply with scale factor sy. This scale factor depends. If scale factor is positive, nothing but you are increasing the size. If scale factor is negative, nothing but you are decreasing the size, right? Again we will see. Then the corresponding scaling matrix transformation is x dash y dash equal to, right? These are the equation, means x dash is x into sx. You want to increase or you want to decrease in x direction. At the same time, if you want to decrease or increase in the y direction, then that is y into sy, right? Y into sy. Then x dash y dash, that is again same I have written in matrix format. X dash y dash I have written in matrix format, sx, sy. This is 0, this is 0. Matrix, that is scaling factor. Then this is a point, right? Again, if you multiply these two matrix, you will get again same equation. If you multiply these two matrix, you have to get original equation, because this is our original equation. Just to help the OpenGL, we are writing those in matrix format. That's why this is a scaling factor matrix, this is original matrix, right? That is, if I multiply these two matrix, again you will get these two equations, right? This is regarding scaling. Then scaling, as I told, scaling factor 1.0 means greater than 1. If your scaling factor is greater than 1, then you are making image object large. If your scaling factor is less than 1, means nothing but your scaling factor is positive. If your scaling factor is positive or greater than 1, then you are enlarging. If your scaling factor is less than 1, that is shrinking. You are shrinking. That is scaling factor less than 0, negative scaling, resize and reflect the object. Uniform scaling, if you want to do the uniform scaling, scaling factors are all same. Means if sx and sy are same, then at all the side you are increasing with same size, right? Otherwise called differential scaling, right? Then scaling assumptions, as I told, so we have done some assumptions. Warning, because of the way we are doing scaling, only scaling in x or y direction or both, but not in arbitrary direction, right? If object is bigger like this, you can shrink. Line scaled by 0.5 means scaling factor is less than 1. If your scaling factor is less than 1, you are nothing but shrinking. If scaling factor is greater than 1, nothing but you are making it large, right? Changes size and moves line closer to the origin. Again, in this case, one more operation it is doing by default. Just you have changed the size of the object, but if you observe, when you are doing this operation, it has changed the place also. You observe the line. Originally the line was here. Original line is here at some distance from origin at x direction, but after doing that scaling, this size is anyway reduced, because you have done the scaling factor is less than 1. Scaling factor you have taken less than, size is anyway reduced, but the position also it has changed. It has changed its position, right? and changes the that is the property of scaling, right? It does by default, it does two operations, means scale and translation, right? Scaling related to origin. Again, as I told, we are doing with respect to origin. Always whatever derivation we are doing with respect to origin, all transformations we are discussing, right? Origin is a fixed point affected by scaling. Origin is fixed point affected by a scaling. We will talk other scaling also. We can do the other case scaling also, but when we will go that time we will discuss that one, right? Then translation, as I told, translation. Then means we are still now we are discuss rotation and scaling, means increasing size and decreasing size. Then rotation we are discussed. We are not discussing how to move object from one place to other place, that is translation. Means you want to translate object from one position to other position, that is a translation. Moving point by Cartesian distance tx ty, means originally that point is at t comma x comma y. Originally that point is at x comma y. You want translated point at x dash y dash. You want that translation point at x dash y. Then how to move? Just to add some amount in x, add some amount in y, it will move. Or you can subtract some amount in x, you can subtract some amount in y, automatically it comes towards origin. Means when you are adding translation factor, it is going away from the origin. When you are subtracting translation factor from the original values, it comes towards the origin. That is why what we have done, that is original point is at x comma y. I want x dash y dash. How I want x dash y? That is a translated. Means in x direction I want to move some position. Means in x direction it is at 10. I want in x direction at 20. Means in x direction value originally it is at 10th pixel, but after translation in x direction I want at 20. Then how much I have to add? Still I have to add 10. Means already x is 10, my translation factor is 10, then 10 plus 10, 20. Means in x direction x dash will become 20. X dash will become 20. Then similarly in y direction also you decide. In y direction also assume that in y also it was at 10, but y direction you want at 15. Then your translation factor is 5. 10 plus 5 will become 15. That is what new x dash y dash. Like this we have to, means something if you add in both the direction, it will move away from the origin. Something if you subtract from the original position, it comes towards the origin, right? This is what there is a tx ty are called translation distance or translation vector or shift vector, right? This is translation factor, translation distance, translation vector or shift vectors, right? These are all. Then same if I write in a matrix format, that is p dash equal to p plus t, p dash equal to p plus t, right? That is p is tx ty, p is tx ty, tx ty, then x is original point is this, that's why if I add these two, then tx plus tx, y plus ty, then I will get new x dash y dash, right? You observe this matrix. How, what we have done? I have taken original matrix, we have taken transformed matrix, that is translation factor. But if you see this one, what we have done here, we have done addition. Here. After doing addition, then only you will get original equations, x plus tx, y plus ty. But if you multiply this, you will not get here. But in previous these, what we have done here, we have multiplied those matrix. We have multiplied here, means the scaling matrix and original points we have multiplied. Then we will get this in the scaling also, in this rotation also. Scaling also, rotations. What we have done? Rotation matrix, original matrix we have multiplied. Then we will get the again same equation in both the case. But in this case, translation matrix, it is not possible. Translation matrix and original matrix multiplication if you do, then you will not get original equation. You will not get the original equation. Right? This is the drawback of translation. Means, right? That's why what we will do, but we have to maintain consistency through our operations. Everywhere we would like to multiply. We don't want to add some transformation. We don't want to add multiply in some transformation. Means we don't want to change the operations between the transformation. Means rotation and scaling, multiplication, translation, addition. No, it is not possible, because when we are in if you go next there is a composite matrix. Means in some object you may require to translate, you may require to rotate, you may require to scale. These operations you may require to do it in only one object. At that time it will create very confusion. Means when I have to add, when I have to multiply. That's why I will prefer only multiplication of a matrix in all type of translations, right? We will prefer multiplication of matrix all type of translations. But when it comes to translation, the multiplication is not possible. If you see these matrix, that is x, y and ty, you will get original equation x plus tx, y plus ty only after adding the two matrix, right? That's why multiplication is not possible. But in previous matrix, here after multiplying again you got original equations. After multiplying these two matrix, you will get original equations. But it is not possible in translation. That's why to overcome this disadvantage, we will derive homogeneous coordinate system. We will derive homogeneous coordinate system. Means homogeneous coordinate system helps us to overcome that disadvantage. Whatever disadvantage we had in translation. Means translation only requires addition. Only the transformation, among three transformation, only translation operation requires the addition. But other two, that is rotation and scaling, requires multiplication. To overcome this disadvantage, we will derive the homogeneous coordinate system, right? Homogeneous, to fix this, we will extend our 2 cross 2 matrix, or 2 cross 2. If you see, these matrix are 2 cross 2 matrix in previous 2. These two matrix are 2 cross 2 matrix, right? But in this case, we have 1 cross means 2 cross 1. There is 2 rows, 1 column. Because of this, we are not able to multiply. To fix that one, instead of 2 cross 2 matrix, whatever matrix we have in rotation scaling, instead of 2 cross 2 matrix, that is R, and our 2 cross 1 vectors, or in second case, that is a 2 cross 1. In this case, this is a 2 cross 1. There are 2 rows and 1 columns. Right? Because of this, we are not able to do the same operation for all the transformations. To overcome this, instead of going either 2 cross 2 matrix or 2 cross 1 matrix, we will go to 3 cross 3 matrix. 3 cross 3 matrix and 3 cross 1 vectors. That is called 3 cross 1 vectors. Right? That is called homogeneous coordinates. For 2D coordinates, extension, even though we are representing 2 points x comma y in 2 dimensional, we will extend that one to xh, yh, means 3 points. Now onwards, we will represent every point in our 2 dimensional. Instead of representing every point by a true value, that is x and y, now onwards we will start representing that every point by x, h, y, h, one more additional coordinate, that's a h. That is a h, right? That is a h. Means now onwards, every point in coordinate, Cartesian coordinate, will represent with 3 points, that is xh, yh and h. Means now onwards you will see every point will be represented with 3 values. Even no doubt it is a 2-dimensional object, right? H is a homogeneous parameter here. H is a homogeneous parameter, that is a non-zero value, such that then how to calculate x, how to come to again Cartesian. This is now we are in homogeneous coordinates. Again, if you want to come back to Cartesian coordinates, again Cartesian coordinate, I want x and y only. I don't want xh and yh. Now I want x and y. Then how to come back to a Cartesian coordinate? Nothing but x is xh by h, y is yh by h. If you divide xh and yh by h, then again you will go back to Cartesian coordinates, right? Just to overcome that disadvantage, we will move to homogeneous coordinate. We will do all the calculations in homogeneous coordinates. Again, when it comes to Cartesian coordinate, then I want only x and y. How to get x and y? I know x and y. Whatever h is there, whatever h value you have taken, with that h you divide xh, yh, then automatically you will come to x and y, right? Often just set. Now again, one advantage of this is, now again h value in this homogeneous coordinate, always we are using h value fixed to one value, that is 1. Always h is 1. Often just set h to 1, that is xy becomes xy1, right? Again simple, right? Xy becomes xy, as I told. Still we are in 2-dimensional, but how we are representing point? Instead of representing xy, we will represent xy1, right? Xy1, nothing but x by 1. Again, how to come back to xy? How to come back to Cartesian coordinate? Just use the above formula, this formula, that is x equal to xh by h, y equal to yh by h. What is xh by? Xh is x, then what is h? 1. X by 1, then y by 1. Again you will come back to x comma y. That means in this Cartesian coordinate, in 2-dimensional homogeneous coordinate system, always h value will represent with a 1, right? Often use w, in some cases they may use w instead of h, especially for 3D vectors. Again same will be used in 3-dimensional. Actually 3-dimensional we require 3 points, but instead of going 3 points, we have to go for 4 points. That is a 1 point additional point. H is a homogeneous coordinate. H is homogeneous coordinate. Like that, in 3-dimensional, I want x, y, z but again XYZ, if you go XYZ again, there also will face translation problem. That's how we will represent 3 cross 3 matrix to 4 cross 4 by taking just homogeneous coordinate, right? This is what homogeneous coordinates, right? Then here again I will go back, homogeneous coordinate points, right? Homogeneous pattern, homogeneous coordinate points, right? In that case, with the translation matrix, only translation matrix was making a problem. Translation matrix was making a problem. There is no problem with rotation matrix and scaling matrix. With the translation matrix, we purposely use the additional elements of the matrix, in this case the extra columns, to convert that matrix to homogeneous coordinates. Just your translation matrix we have modified. Now translation matrix becomes 1 0 tx, 1 0 ty, 0 1 ty, 0 0 1, right? This is homogeneous. These are homogeneous coordinates, right? Tx ty were translation factors. We have rewritten the translation matrix T equal to 1 0 tx, 0 1 ty, 0 0 1, right? This is homogeneous coordinates, right? Then now onwards, in general, all the matrix will look like this. All the matrix will look like this. Means M00, M01, M10, M11. Then this additional column and additional row is a homogeneous coordinate. Additional column, that is for rotation, scaling and shear matrix. For rotation, scaling and shear matrix, afterwards we will discuss the shear matrix, discuss later. The original matrix is augmented with the extra row and column of zeros, except for the last row column position with will set to 1. Means only translation matrix will look like this. Only translation matrix will look like this, but all other remaining matrix will look like this. Means you have a M00 value, you have M01 value, you have M10, you have M11. Then one column and one row values are always like this in 2 dimensional. Same with 3 dimensional. Same with 3 dimensional. I have 3 dimensional coordinates, then additional homogeneous column, additional homogeneous row. This is our 2 dimensional matrix. Already we have derived for rotation and scaling. Additional 1 matrix. Only translation matrix will look like this, right? Then homogeneous coordinate points versus vectors, right? That again we will discuss this one afterwards, right? Homogeneous coordinate point about vector, right? That's why points, all transformations should have an effect: translation, rotation, scaling, etc. W set to 1. Now all operations, translation, rotation, scaling, can be performed just by using the operation multiplication. Just by using the operation multiplication. No addition, no multiple. But in before homogeneous coordinate, translation factor, translation matrix, we are using addition. Whereas scaling and rotation, we are using multiplication operation. To overcome that in some case addition, some case multiplication, we will convert all operations into multiplication format once we go into homogeneous coordinate system. That is that's why we are into homogeneous coordinate. Means 1 point we have added here. Instead of going x dash y dash, x dash y dash 1, x dash y dash 1 is equal to T translation matrix into original points. Translation matrix into original point. Translation matrix is this. As I told, translation matrix is this. And the translation matrix will be like this in 2 dimensional, right? Then translation matrix is this. Then original points are this. What is our original derivation? Translation equation is x plus tx, y plus ty. If you multiply these 2 matrix, you will get x plus tx, y plus ty, then 1. Right? 1 is homogeneous coordinate. Again, if you want to go back to this, then x by h, y by h. H is here 1. H is here 1. That I have told how to go back to Cartesian coordinate. Right? This is how. Now instead of doing addition for translation, again here also you can go for multiplication. Here also you can go for multiplication, right? That is this is right. Then translation has no meaning. Translation has no meaning. Other transformation should work through though W is set to 0. If W is set to 0, then translation has no meaning, right? Then this is what translation matrix means. If W is 0, then you will not get translation. You will not get translation. That's why always W is 1, right? W is 1. This is what. Now you see you got the same equation. Whatever you have derived the equation means. If you want to move something away from origin to origin value, you add something. You originally add something in all the direction, in x direction, y direction. You want to take towards the origin, from the origin value, subtract something, right? This is what equation. Now by multiplying, there is no addition. But in before homogeneous, you got this last matrix, you got this resultant matrix by adding x and t, by adding x and t. Now you got this matrix by multiplying. Now you got this matrix by multiplying. Then already we have discussed rotation and scaling, right? This is what here, right? Again same, again I have told, means this you will get anyway, the matrix multiplication, right? Then here again same translation, homogeneous coordinates, right? Again as I told, right? Here also you will get rotation matrix with homogeneous coordinate. This is our rotation matrix, this is our rotation matrix. Then this is homogeneous column, homogeneous row, x dash y dash 1. Again here also you will get same. You otherwise you check, you multiply this row with this column, right? You multiply this row with this column, whether you will get original equations or not. You go to verify this. After going homogeneous coordinates, there is no change in original equations. X dash cos theta, x into cos theta you will get, right? Minus y into sin theta you will get, right? Row into column is over. Then next y dash equal to x into sin theta, then plus y into cos theta. You will get same equation, right? Then if you multiply this, then 0 into this 0, 0 into this 0, 1 into 1 this. Anyway, this is homogeneous coordinate. That's why this 2D. Again same with scaling. Same with scaling. Means now once you go to homogeneous coordinate system, all the derivations with matrix format you will get by multiplying. You will get by multiplying. But if you don't go with the homogeneous coordinates, only you will get all derivations, only rotation and scaling you will get multiplication, but translation you will get addition, right? Translation you will get addition. It will make confusion, because when you are combining all operations in sum of the object, then you will get confused where I have to do the addition, where I have to do the multiplication. That's why to come all thing into common form, we have converted, we will come to Cartesian coordinate to homogeneous coordinate, means instead of representing every point in 2 cross 2 matrix, we will represent every point in 3 cross 3 matrix, right? Then all matrix, all equations can be derived by multiplying, right? This is how we will come to homogeneous coordinate, right? Again same I have told here, right? Again, right? Now those are with respect to single operations. Then composing term means in sum of the operation, what happens? There is one object. On that object you would like to do, you want to zoom out, you want to increase the size of that object, right? There is one particular object, and on that object you want to increase the size of that object, you want to rotate that object with some degree, then you want to transform that object. This thing may happen, right? In real life, on particular object you may require to do multiple operations, multiple transformations in sense only we have discussed only 3 transformations, that is translation, scaling and rotation. Means on that particular object you want to do all 3, then how to do, right? That is what composing transformation. That is what composing transformation, the process of applying several transformations in succession to form one overall transformation. One overall means result only want one result, but that result may contain multiple transformations. As I told, that object is, for example, that object is at 10, 10. Initially that object is at 10, 10 with an angle 30 degree to x-axis, with an angle 30 degree to x-axis with some size, But on that object you want at, for example, at 20, 20, that object you want at 20, 20, then with an angle 90 degree with x-axis with increased size. Nothing but what all operation you are doing in that object? You are doing scaling on that object, because you would like to increase the size of the object. You would like to change the position because it has at 10, 10. Now you want that object at 20, 20. You want that object at 20, 20. Nothing but you would like to do the translation. Originally that object with respect to x-axis it was at 30 degree angle. Now you want something 90 degree angle. Means again you want to change the rotation. You want to change the angle. Means you would like to do all 3 operations and that object. Then result you want with that effect. Means that object you would like to see with the 90 degree angle with x-axis with increased size with the change in position. with the change in position. Means nothing but you have combined the operations. That is the meaning of this composite transformation. The process of applying several transformations in succession to form one overall transformation. Ultimately you want that effect on that object, but to get that effect, what all operation you have done? You have done scaling to increase the size, you have changed the position, nothing but you have done the translation. Then with the x-axis again you have changed some angle. Original angle was different, now it has rotated. Means these three operations you have done on your resultant object, right? That is what composite. If you apply transformation, if you apply transforming a point P using M1 matrix first, and then transform using M2 and then M3, then we have, that is original I have P, I will do M1 matrix, that may be translation, that may be rotation, or that may be a scaling, right? Then I will do that effect M1 into P. For example, I have done translation first, then M1 matrix is translation matrix into P, then it will be translated, the object is translated with that translation matrix. Then afterwards you want to scale, means you want to increase the size, there is a M2 matrix, then to that result, means it is at new position, and new position you want to increase the size by multiplying M2 matrix, there is a scaling matrix. Then matrix will be, means the object will be increase the size at a new position, object is increased size at a new position. Why at a new position? Because first operation you have done in translation. Why it is at new position now? Because first operation you have done is translation, that's why it has changed its position. That is M1 matrix, then on that point what you are doing, you are increasing the size, that is M2 matrix. Then you multiply that one is this M1 into P, whatever result you got M1 into P, you multiply with M2, then object will be in bigger size. If you are increasing the size, object is at bigger size at new point, right? Then you want to rotate that object at that point. Now you want to rotate that object at that point, there is M3 rotation matrix, then you multiply. Then whatever result you will get after doing this, means to original point, if you multiply M1, if you multiply M2, if you multiply M3, then you will get one resultant matrix. You will get one resultant matrix. That resultant matrix has composite transformation. That resultant matrix has a composite transformation. With my example, first I have done transformation, that is a M1. Translation, I have done translation first, that is a M1. Then I have scaled, that is a M2. Then I have rotated, that is a M3. Then after multiplying these all combined together, then definitely I get one matrix. Then that matrix is composite matrix. It contains all three operations, result of all three operations. Now if I display that matrix values, on monitor, then I will get the result on that original values. These are transformation done, right? That is what here means. How to do this again? The order is again important here. First original value right side, then first operation, what operation you are doing, first that operation, then after that what operation you are doing, that matrix, then afterwards what operation you are doing, that matrix, right? In this order you have to come. That's why that is M1 into P, then result of that into M2, then result of that into M3, right? Then that M, whatever M1, M2, M1, M2, M3, that is a composite matrix M. Then that composite matrix M, if you multiply with original, then the affected result you will see at the monitor, right? That is matrix multiplication is associative. M1, M2 into M3, M1 M into M2 into M1 equal to M3 M2 into M1. This associative matrix multiplication is associative, right? If you multiply M1 M2 first, or you can multiply M1 M2 M3 first, it doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense. If you either way you can go, you can multiply M3 M2 first or M2 M1 first, right? Transformation products may not be commutative, means, but the effects, the transformation may not be commutative, means the effect may not be same, right? That is A into B may not be equal to B into A into B may not be equal to B into A, right? That's why very careful. Some cases where A into B equal to B into A matrix and B matrix, if both are translation, You can either go A into B or B into A. Doesn't affect. Both are scaling, doesn't affect. Both are rotation, doesn't affect. Uniform scaling and rotation doesn't affect. But if one is translation, one is rotation, then you decide which operation you want to do. First you want to do translation, or first you want to do rotation, or first you want to do scaling, then next you want to do rotation. The operation is different here. That's why depending on which type of operation you are doing, that matters here. That's why that is A into B may not be equal to B into A if these are not satisfied below case, right? That's why now we will go to rotation about fixed point. Now I have derived rotation matrix for origin. As I told, whatever matrix we have derived, whatever equations we have derived till now with respect to origin, we means assuming that we are at origin, with respect to origin I have rotated, with respect to origin I have scaled, with respect to origin I have translated, means reference point as origin. Our reference point was origin. Our reference point was origin, right? With respect to that we have derived the matrix. Whatever translation matrix we have derived, whatever rotation matrix we have derived, whatever scaling matrix we have derived, our reference point was origin. Means with origin, with respect to origin, means I am at origin. By standing at origin I have rotated. Then by standing at origin I have scaled. By standing at origin I have done translation, right? Whatever matrix we have derived. But in some time it may happen that the object from origin, the object is at 10, 10. You assume that the object is at 10, 10 from origin. Then you may require to rotate that object its position, means at 10, 10 only you want to rotate. At 10, with respect to 10, 10 only you want to rotate. Nothing but your origin is 10, 10 now. Your origin is 10, 10. Your origin is not 0, 0. Understood? Means your now whatever transformation matrix you are till now we are derived assuming that we are at 0, 0, right? That's our origin. With respect to origin, those matrix you are derived. But in some time it may happen that the object is at not origin, it is some distance away from x, it is from origin in the x direction, it is some distance away from the y, in y direction from origin. I want to rotate that object at 10, 10. I want to rotate that object at 10, 10. Means my origin is at now 10, 10. Not 0, 0, right? Means nothing but wherever that object is located, I will go to that position, I will rotate itself there, I will rotate there itself, I will rotate there itself. That is what rotation about a fixed point. Rotation about fixed point means rotation may not be always the origin. Rotation may not always be origin, right? Rotation may be anywhere. Means that point may be anywhere. Always these operations cannot be done with respect to origin. In some case you may require to do these translation, rotation, scaling with respect to some other points other than the origin, right? This is the problem here. That means that concept we are discussing again in our program definition. This he is expecting, right? Rotation of object about some fixed point or again there are many definitions, many names will be there. Rotation of object about fixed point, or rotation of object about pivot point, or rotation of an object about arbitrary point. Means other than origin. Other than origin. You see here, origin is here. I am not rotating with respect to origin. I am not rotating my object with respect to origin. I am rotating my reference point is here in the object. Our reference point is at object. I would like to rotate my object with respect to this point. I would like to rotate my object with respect to this point, not with respect to this. But whatever matrix till now we have derived all matrix with respect to this point, with respect to this point, right? Now I would like to rotate my object with respect to this point, means this is not at origin. Is this point is at origin? Is P reference is origin? No. P reference is some distance in x direction, it is at some distance away in y direction, right? That's why I would like to rotate. This is what fixed point, right? Means if I rotate this object with a theta degree, now my object looks like this. My object will look like this, right? You can observe the object is rotated here. The object is rotated here, right? Object is originally like this. Object is originally like this, dotted lines. Object is originally with a dotted line, but after rotating, object will look like. Means I rotated in object space only. I rotated in object space only. I am not rotated with respect to origin. there itself I rotated, right? This is what fixed point. Such operations we have to do, right? Then how to do this? How to do? I don't have direct matrix for rotation at arbitrary point. Whatever rotation matrix, yes, in last slide we have derived the rotation matrix with respect to origin. With respect to origin, I don't have rotation matrix with respect to this point, but I want that operation. Then how to do this? How to do this, right? To do this, we have to do these operations. To do this, we have to do these operations. Means actually, I want to rotate my object with respect to PF, not with respect to this, right? Then I don't have direct equation for this. I have equation with respect to origin. I don't have equation with respect to some arbitrary point. Then how to do, right? That's why what I will do to do this, I will take that reference point in a such a way that this reference point coincides with origin. Coincides with origin. We can do that one. How we have to do? Translate. Translate means that point is from origin, it is x distance somewhere here. Only we will discuss only 2 dimensions. We will not take z axis here. We will not take z axis. Then that point is some distance in y direction from origin, in somewhere here, right? That point is in x direction some distance here, in y direction some distance here, right? Now I will take this point in such a way that this point coincides with origin. I will take that point coincides with origin, means that point I will align somewhere here. How to do that one? Subtract x factor from x distance, some x factor from x distance, right? Assume that in x direction it is 10, in x direction it is 10 from origin. Then 10 minus 10, where it will come? It will come origin. Again it assume that it is in y direction, so from origin it is 10, then 10 minus 10 it will come origin. Means translation, I have the translation matrix. I know how to do the translation with respect to origin. I know how to do translation with respect to origin, because whatever matrix we have derived previously, I have told with respect to origin only we have derived. That's why I will make use of the translation matrix. I will subtract the x translation factor in x direction. I will subtract translation factor in y direction, so that it aligns with origin. That I have done here. Second means translate such a way that reference point, each reference point you want to rotate, that will come to origin. That will come to origin. Then it will come origin. Then what you have to do? You want to rotate. Actually, I want to rotate with theta angle. Whenever you want to rotate, you require an angle. How much angle you decide, right? How much angle you decide, right? I know how to rotate about origin, because that origin, whatever translation matrix, rotation matrix we have derived with respect to origin. I know how to rotate about origin. Then those matrix I will use. Rotation matrix about origin, counterclockwise I will use. Then I will rotate with angle, whatever angle I have decided. For example, 45 degree. 45 degree. Then to this matrix, means translation matrix result is this, right? To this I will rotate. Now object is rotated. Object is rotated, but this object rotated is at origin. I don't want at origin. Object rotated object is, I don't want at origin. I want rotate actually here only. That I want rotation here only. Then how to do? Again send back that operation. How to send back? What you have done here, to take origin you have subtracted. To take that object, that point to origin, here you have subtracted, then it has aligned to origin, right? Again you want that object here. That what you do? You send back, means you add. How much you have subtracted here, if you add that much to this, then again it will go back to its original position. But it will go back to original position. Now it is rotated, because you have done rotation. Here you have done rotation, right? No doubt it will go to its original position. But if you have subtracted 10 here, if you add 10 to this origin, again it will come back to here, right? But it is coming with rotation. That is what we have to do here. That is what means ultimately I want rotation at this point. But to do this, what I have done, I have to translate to origin. Then at origin you rotate at origin, because whatever matrix we have all matrix with origin only. You rotate with origin, right? Then, but I want ultimate that result at somewhere at this point. Then I will send back, right? This is what you have to do. Means nothing but to do that operation. What you have to do? You have to translate the object to the pivot point position is moved to the coordinate origin. You translate in a such a way that that pivot point, whatever arbitrary point is there, that point must align with origin. Must align with origin. Once it aligns with origin, rotate there, rotate at origin, because you have the matrix origin, rotation matrix with respect to origin. Whatever angle you want, with that angle you rotate. Use that matrix, with that angle you rotate. Then after rotation, you want that at a pivot point, again send back to its original position. Send back to original, translate the object so that the pivot point is returned to its original position. So that the pivot point will return to original position. For doing that one, what all operation we have done? First operation what I have done? This means I have subtracted. In x direction, x factor I have subtracted. In y direction, y factor I have subtracted. This is homogeneous matrix. As I told in the previously I have derived homogeneous matrix. In x direction I have subtracted x. In y direction I have subtracted, means as I told, if it is x in x direction it is at 10, in y direction it is at 10, then to take it to origin, that is 0 minus 10, it will come to means 10 minus 10, 10 minus 10, it will come to 0, then 10 minus 10, it will come to, in y direction it will come to 0. That is what we have done. Then after that what we have done? We have rotated. We are rotated with theta angle, whatever theta angle may be 45, whatever angle you want to take. But counterclockwise rotation. Counterclockwise rotation, this matrix also we have derived with respect to origin. Then object is rotated now. But that object I want at pivot point, at our original position. Then how much you have subtracted here with the same amount if you add. How much you have subtracted, if subtraction translation factor is 10 minus 10, then you add plus 10. It will go to original position. Right, this is translation matrix. Then if you multiply these matrix, as I told, multiply from left side, then you will get, this is the resultant matrix. This is the resultant matrix. This matrix, this resultant matrix is only one matrix I have, but this matrix is combination of inverse translation, rotation and translation. Inverse translation is nothing but subtraction, means minus you are done. Minus you are done. Translation means to take origin, then origin, rotation about origin, then retranslation. Right? This is the result of these three operations. This resultant matrix is the result of these three operations. Right? If you display the content of this matrix, automatically you will see that object is rotated with respect to that point, whatever point you have chosen. Whatever point you have chosen, automatically you will see that the object is rotated there. Right? I want this matrix now, but this is nothing but these three operations. It contains these three operations, right? That is T, X or Y R, means this is my first you have done subtraction of a translation matrix, then you have rotated rotation matrix, then retranslated. That is what new rotation, that is a rotation at X, Y with theta degree, X, Y with theta degree. This is what means we have to write program for this matrix now. We have to write program for this matrix, because our program definition is rotated triangle with respect to origin as well as with respect to some arbitrary point. When you are rotating with respect to origin, at that time this translation factor is not there, because you are at origin. This you will give, you are giving 0 0. No need to take that matrix to origin, because already you are at origin. That time definitely your translation factors are 0 0. When it is not at origin, you want to rotate about that point, then you have to translate, right? That is what here you have to write program for this matrix. You have to write program for this matrix, then our original values. This matrix I have to write to original values, then automatically it will shift, it will rotate that matrix, right? Here. That's why now we will go to program. Now we will go to program. Directly I will go to main program. From main program will come, right? Here wide main, as you know, already we have written a program. Wide main, integer RC, integer character, then print, enter the rotation angle, then how much angle you want to rotate. As I told, whenever you want to rotate, you have to decide how much angle you want to rotate. That angle, whether you want to rotate about with an angle 45 degree, whether you want to rotate with an angle 90 degree, how much angle you want to rotate, that angle, right? Scanf and theta, right? It is in degree, you have to convert into radian. That we are doing conversion. We will do the conversion afterwards. Whatever we have done, I read the angle, it is in degree, I have to convert into radian. Radian conversion we will do in that rotation matrix, right? Rotation function, right? You enter the fixed point. Rotation means about whether you want to rotate about origin, whether you want to rotate about some fixed point, right? that you decide here. When you are rotating about origin, that time your rotation points is always 0 0, because origin is 0 0. Definitely you are entering 0 0 here. Suppose if you want to rotate about origin, definitely that is 0 0. But whenever you want to rotate about some fixed point, then you decide about which point you want to rotate, right? Do you want to rotate 10, 20, means in x direction 10, in y direction 20, right? That you point you decide here, right? Then glut init, as I told, these and I will see, means I am initializing a glut. We are initializing glut here, right? Then glut init, glut library we have to initialize. Then glut init display mode, glut single, glut RGB, because since it is a 2-dimensional, by default if you use also single, it is RGB. If you don't use also, it is single and RGB, right? In previous programs I have told, right? Glut init window size means you are creating your empty page, nothing but I am creating working window. I am creating working window. In that window we are drawing, right? Then glut window size, how much window you want to draw that triangle, how much, what size window you want to draw that. Means, as I told, this is your empty paper. Means first we have to select the paper. On that paper we have to draw the normally we will draw objects, right? Like that. Means I am selecting a paper size 500, 500, means position is at from 0 0, means this window starts at 0 0. In x direction it is 500 width, in y direction it is 500 height, right? Then glut create window, with this name I have created this window, that is house rotation name I have given for this window. Then glut display function, we are writing actually our program in this function, that is a glut display. Means this is a callback function. This is a callback function. I have to control my display, right? This is a callback function, as I told. This in this display we are writing the program. Then my init means, as I told, one time initialization. This user defined, these are built-in functions. This my init one time initialization, I am doing it in here. We will go one by one. Then glut main loop, this is loop callback. It will call back all the events. Means it will continuously keep on monitor which all events as occurred by callback functions, right? Now we will go to display function, because we have called display function. Where is the display function? Here. I will come to display function, right? Glut display, then clear color buffer bits, right? Means I will clear the background color, as I told. Means the background color is, if somebody has used earlier that program, then by whatever color he might have set, that color it may be using. That's why you clear the buffer bits, background color you clear. Then go to draw house. Then I will call a draw house. Here actually I have named draw house, but we are drawing a triangle. Here the name function name we have given draw house, but we are not drawing a house, we are drawing a triangle, but we have kept draw, means simply we have taken draw house function name, right? Then we will go to draw house function. There is draw house here, draw house. As I told, don't get confused, we are not drawing a house, we are drawing a triangle. We are drawing a triangle, right? Then that triangle we will set the color, GL color, that is 0 0 0 0 1. What color we are drawing? We are drawing, this is R, red, green, blue. With blue color we are drawing. With blue color we are drawing that triangle, right? I have set the color after my triangle is blue color, right? Then GL begin, how we are drawn? With a line loop, with a line loop, right? GL vertex 2F, house 0 0, house 1 0. You see house, I use the matrix here. We are using house, means which point we are drawing? I am drawing that point. You see house 0 0. This is our matrix, means house. As I told, this 3-dimensional. We are drawing a triangle. That's why to draw triangle, how many points I require? I require 3 points. Always three vertices. 3 vertices. Each vertex contain the 3 points. Each vertex contain 3 points. Means I want this. Again, why 3 points? Why three rows? Why 3 rows? Because one homogeneous row. As I told, one homogeneous row. One homogeneous row, one homogeneous column we are taking. This is row number 1, row number 1, row number 2, row number 3. Right? 0 0 is this. Then 0 1. 0 1 is this. Right? Then 0 2 is this. Then 1 0, 1 1, 1 2. Then 2 0, 2 1, 2 2. Right? These are our points. Right? I am drawing by using this, that is 100, first x 100. You see here how I have drawn. House 0 0 means first point of my triangle in x direction is 100. House 1 0, house 1 0 is nothing but what? Here means first vertex of my triangle is 0 0. first vertex of my triangle is 0, 0. I start at 0, 0. First vertex is 0, 0. Then next vertex is 0, 1. Then 1, 1. 0, 1 is nothing but next vertex. The end means first edge. It starts at 0, 0. Ends at 500, 100. 500, 100 means we have drawn. How we have drawn the line? How we have drawn the line? 0, 0, x, right? X, then this is y, x, y. I have changed x, I have not changed y, means horizontal line we have drawn. Horizontal line we have drawn. We have started at 0, 0. We are ending at 500, 100. We are ending at 500, end. Means we are drawing horizontal line of that triangle. Horizontal line of means one edge which is horizontal, right? Now, then again, since we use a line loop, it starts again at this point. It starts at this point, right? It goes here. Means we will start at 100, 100, 500, 100. We start at 500, 100 means horizontal line other end. Horizontal line other end. We will start at 500, 100. Then we will end at here. What is the end at here? Means 0, 2. Then 1, 2. 0, 2. 1, 2 is nothing but 300, 500. Means x 300 means I came left side, because earlier I was 500 means I was right side. I came left side 300. In y I moved up, because earlier y I was in 100. Now I have moved up 500 means 300, 500. Just imagine 300, 500. Earlier point was 500, 100. Earlier point was 500, 500. Now from 500, 100 to I am drawing line at 300, 500. Right? 300, 500. Right? Then automatically, since you use a line loop, then automatically it joins from 300, 500 to 100, 100. Automatically it draws that. Means automatically you have drawn one horizontal line, then right side edge, then left side edge of that triangle. Right? Means base, first you have drawn base, then right edge, then left edge you have drawn. Right? By house this. Right? Since you use line loop, last point and first point automatically joined. Last point and first point automatically joined. Means 300, 500 point will be joined with 100, 100 point. Right? This is we have drawn a triangle. Right? Then we have drawn a triangle. We have called first. Right? Here I have called draw house. Now I have drawn triangle. My triangle is at 100, 100. Then 500, 100. Then 300, 500. These are the three vertices of my triangle. Now I want to rotate. Now I call a rotation. Then rotation here. Rotation matrix. Rotate. Right? I'll draw rotate. As I told, already we have derived rotation matrix. Here. We have derived rotation matrix. I have to write code for this. This is rotation about arbitrary point. It works for arbitrary point. It works for origin also. Same matrix will work for origin as well as arbitrary point. That's why I have to write code for this. Right? Simply we have written code for that. Nothing we have done here. We have written code for that. GL float M N I have taken. As I told, theta is in degree. I have to convert that into radian. We have converted that theta into radian. Theta 1 I have read degree. That is convert that into radian. I have converted radian. M N. What is M N here? M N is minus h cos theta minus 1 plus k sin theta. What we have done in this case here, this we have taken, means first I will take this m and 1, means simply we have taken this one in one variable, simple this one in other variable. This we have converted simple variable, that is this I have taken m, this I have taken n. Here one is m, one is h. What is m and h? Simply these factors. M and h we have taken here. This we have written like this, that is minus h cos theta minus 1 plus k sin theta a. This one only, means I have taken common here. After taking common, right, then we have taken this, means I have converted this is m, this is n. Simply we have done this, right? That is m, this is n, right? This is m. Understood? Only this only this factor, this and this, right? I have converted them. this is m, this is m. Now whenever I want that value, I will use m and n. Now onwards I will not use again. Every time I will not calculate this. Every time I will not calculate. Only once I calculate, I have kept somewhere, right? That is m and n. Then now I have to multiply. Now rotation matrix 0, 0. Rotation matrix 0, 0 is what? Rotation matrix 0, 0 is cos theta. Rotation matrix 0, 0 is cos theta. Then that is what? Cos theta. I have taken theta here. Cos theta means rotation matrix 0, 0, cos theta, whatever angle I want to rotate, that angle will be here, then cos theta. Then rotation matrix 0, 1, rotation matrix 0, 1 is minus sin theta. Rotation matrix 0, 1 is minus sin theta, then rotation 0, 1 is minus sin theta, right? Then rotation matrix 0, 2 is what? Rotation matrix 0, 2 is this. Rotation matrix 0, 2 is this. Already I have calculated, I have kept it in m. As I told, already I have calculated, then I have kept it in m. That's why rotation matrix 0, 2 is m. Rotation matrix 0, m is m. 2 is m. Theta already I have entered, then theta I have converted into degree, radians, then radians I am doing, everything is here, right? Then next, first row is over. Then next row, that is second, that is first row, that is rotation matrix 1, 0. Rotation matrix 1, 0 is what? Sin theta. Rotation matrix 1, 0 is sin theta. That is rotation 1, 0, that is sin theta here. That is theta here. Theta here. Then rotation matrix 1, 1 is what? Rotation matrix 1, 1 is cos theta. Rotation matrix 1, 1 is cos theta. That we have done, right? Then rotation matrix 1, 2 is what? This rotation matrix 1, 2 is what? Already I calculated, we have kept it in n. Already we have calculated, we have kept it in n. That n I use. That n. Then rotation matrix 2, 0 is 0. Rotation matrix 2, 0 is 0. Rotation matrix 2, 1 is 0. Rotation matrix 1, 1 is 1. Rotation matrix 1, 1 is 1. Right? Then this is our rotation matrix. This is our rotation. Means with some angle we have rotated. With some angle we are rotated. Right? Then this I have to apply to my original matrix. This I have to multiply with the original value. Right? Because original value is somewhere. To that value I have to multiply this result. That original value I have to multiply. Right? We have to multiply. Right? Whatever this you see, observe here. This is only the result of these multiplication. This is only the result of these multiplications. Still we have not multiplied the original point. That is x, y, z. Original point x, y, 1. We have not multiplied this matrix. We have not multiplied original values. Only this is the result of this inverse translation, rotation, retranslation. Still we have not multiplied this result over original values. That we have to multiply here. Right? That we have to multiply. That is what multiply here. That is what means. To this value we have to multiply our original values, whatever that is 100, 100, then 500, 100, then 300, 500. That is our original triangle. That is our original triangle. To that triangle we have to multiply the result of this. Then automatically you will see that object is rotated with your interested point. Right? Then we will move to multiply. Here we will move to multiply matrix. Right? Here I am multiplying. What we are multiplying? That is integer ij, l I want loops. Then for I equal to 0, I equal to 3, I plus plus, because for every point I have 3. Every row I have 3. The rows and columns, as you know how to multiply rows and columns. Right? For j equal to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus, result of ij 0, result of l. Simple matrix multiplication. Simple matrix multiplication we have used here. Result of I comma j plus rotation matrix il into house. This is our original matrix triangle. This is our original triangle. That is lj. Original triangle I am multiplying with rotation matrix. Then I will update the resultant rotation. I will update the resultant rotation. This is simple matrix multiplication. Whatever in C program you have discussed, it is simple matrix multiplication logic. The rotation matrix I am multiplying with the original house. Then I am updating the result in result matrix. I am updating the result in resultant matrix. This is 0, 0. Here I am applying. Here I am updating here. Right? Rotation matrix is originally 0, 0. Then after doing whatever previously we have done rotation, after that you will get the new values in this. This original resultant matrix is 0, 0, 0. Then resultant matrix, I will multiply this matrix with this. I will multiply this with this. Then I will get resultant matrix. Simple matrix multiplication. Right? Then afterwards you will get your result. Now you will get your result. Then you display that result. Once you display that result, then you will get your effect. You will get the rotation effect. Right? Then after that, here, then we will go here where I have done. Here then rotation is over, then draw rotated house. That is rotate. Actually, as I told, we are using the house, but we are drawing triangle. Rotate, draw triangle. Rotated triangle we have to draw. Then where is drawing rotation triangle? Here. Draw rotation triangle. Again, rotation triangle we have again same color. Yeah. Otherwise, you can use the different color. If you want, you can use the different color, or if you want, you can keep the same triangle. We have kept same color with original triangle. Whatever original triangle I have used, same color we have kept it. Then again use the line loop. But from here you have to draw now. Originally you have drawn with the house. Now you have to draw with result, because your result is there in result matrix. Your result is there in result matrix. Again same here, wherever you use the house, use result. Result 0, 0, result 1, 0, result 0, 1, result 1, 1, result 0, 2, result 1, 2. Because your result and your result is there in result matrix. Means rotated matrix will be there in result matrix. You display that, automatically you will feel that the object is rotated. Object is rotated, right? Then after rotation, then GL flash, then flash this one as I told. Then as I told, again mine it means background color. I have said background color RGB. If you mix all colors equally, then you will get white color. If you mix all colors equally, you will get white color. That all color. Then GL projection matrix, always orthogonal by default. We are using orthogonal projection, right? GL projection matrix. Load identity, again why you are doing load identity? Because if already somebody used your other matrices, then some result may be there. They might have left some result. To clear those results, we are using load identity matrix. Then glut ortho 2D. Glut ortho 2D means clipping. Means you are clipping the whatever is there outside. That is clipping, right? That is again we have used the maximum 0, 0, left clip, right clip, top bottom clip, top clip, right? That is bottom corner, top right corner, bottom corner, top right corner. That is the left, right, bottom, top. This is the clipping we have done. With this, automatically image is displayed. If you would like to see the result, then result will be like this. Means you will run this program. Then, for example, you want to rotate. Originally, this we have done. This is our original triangle. This is 100, 100. Then 500, 100, 500, 100, then 300, 300, 500, 300, 500. This is our original triangle. This original triangle, I would like to rotate about this point. I would like to rotate about this point. I don't want to rotate about origin. I don't want to rotate about origin. I would like to rotate about some arbitrary point, that is this point. We have entered here. 300, 300. Means you are rotating about 300, 300. Means somewhere here. You have taken somewhere here. 300, 300 means in x direction you have taken 300, right? This is a 500. If this is a 500, you have taken somewhere here 300. Then you are rotating about again 300. Then you will look like this. Rotation will look like this. If you want to rotate about origin, for example, this is arbitrary point, right? If you want to rotate about origin with 90 degree, at that time this rotation fixed point will be 0, 0. This will be 0, 0. That time your translation matrix, translation factor becomes 0, 0. Right? This is how you will get the output. Right? This is the output of this program. Right? This completes your second experiment.